Lex, just coming in for another Heart Snuggly day. And I'm so grateful you're here. I love that you're here. I am just overflowing. It's such a beautiful feeling to know that your ears are listening. So, no matter how we connected, I thank the internet gods for bringing us together. And I appreciate you, and you matter. You really matter. And I just want to chat about what I do. So I am a multifaceted woman. It's my manifesting generator, human design energy, where I'm like, boop, 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 let me do 30 things at once. And then you want to add another, let's go. And it energizes me to do all these things. That's like super exciting. I get really bored if I'm doing one thing. Like, I would never be that person that's like, worked here for 50 years at my job. I don't know why I think of a southern accent when I think of this, but here I am. That's not me. No, 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 no. And I love liberation, freedom. Like, that is definitely a top value of mine. And being in alignment with my heart center. And I found that a lot of business places didn't allow for that. Anywho, my point is that I I do so many things, but my main thing is self-discovery coaching. And actually, I'll just list a few things that I do also. So I'm a heartfelt yoga instructor. I'm all about connecting people to their bodies and to their emotions and to the present moment. In my yoga flows, it's not about who can do the best handstand. I'm not like this performative yogi. I am more centered on feeling, dropping into the body, because I was so disconnected from my body for so long, living in my head, didn't even realize like that I was like looking down right now at my body. I'm like, whoa, like what is this thing? And just moving energy through. And so I just like connecting my students with that and helping them feel safe and just to drop into themselves and connect with their soul. That is what my yoga classes are for. And obviously, I encourage exploration through fun poses and other things, but it's really, yoga is the practice of the mind. And so what I learn on the mat comes with me outside into the world. And it's where my healing journey really began. So I love to share that with people because it is such a gift. It's always been my therapy. It's just been a safe place for me to let go and to be with myself, because often I'm taking care of others or just have a busy schedule. And so it's just such a beautiful space for me. Love it so much. And I'm also this podcast host, which is super freaking exciting. Like, wow, I'm doing it. I'm doing the damn thing, y'all. I'm sharing my voice. Yikes. And it's so fun. My intention of this podcast space is for people to expand their mind or expand their perspective. I love getting different points of views from a lot of maybe areas you haven't learned about or explored, and just learning new ways to live life and learning new parts about yourself and connecting with people from all different backgrounds. And major part of this too is amplifying people's voices, especially BIPOC. I think it's so important that we do not have an equal opportunity in so many areas in life. And so I just want to amplify everyone's voice and give people the space to speak their truth and speak their passions. And when you hear someone like lit up with their passion, that gets you going, and it gets you like, yes, you just want to listen. Like, those are the people we want to learn from. And we all have that. So that's why it's so important to share your own passion, because you get to spread that like juicy, yummy, glowy energy. And it's so beautiful. So yeah, having this is fucking awesome. I am the worst public speaker. Okay, okay, my words create my reality, so I can't say shit like that. But basically, me and public speaking are just not friends. And I used to just seriously start turning bright red everywhere, freeze, like complete freeze response, and just go blank, like my eyes, like, ah. And yeah, I didn't really have to do any public presentations in college, so I really haven't even done it for a long, long time. So I don't even know how it'd be. But I'm hoping now that I'm like teaching yoga, doing this podcast, doing other things, like I've run some events, that I'm would hopefully be better at public speaking. But Yeah, so this isn't easy for me to do this podcast and especially solo episodes. I always get nervous, but I'm really growing so much because I'm learning like it don't matter what you think of me, like it really don't. And yeah, like yeah, I'm letting go of that deep people pleasing that's still like underlyingly there sometimes and my external validating and all those things that haven't been serving me. So this is just really pushing me to just like not give a flying fuck and I'm loving it. And I am also a community event creator. I love to create mindful events in person. I've been craving to do a retreat as well. I've had two retreats planned that I haven't been able to do because of COVID, and another one, long story short, but didn't happen. So I'm trying to manifest the perfect space for you guys because I have so many ideas and I just like I'm ready to host international retreats. I do have a space in Mexico when it's done being built, but I just don't know when that is. So that's really exciting too. But for now, just in-person events. My last one was a sound bath and cacao ceremony with my friend Jasmine. And I think it's just such a great space, great um thing to do. Like I just love creating these spaces because I want to create more spaces where people that aren't revolved around drinking and that aren't revolved around religion. I mean, I guess is usually kind of spirituality, but it's more just like being and learning and growing and healing. Um, and yeah, so because I found that like I never went to church and I stopped drinking, and I'm like, where are community spaces that people can get together and do cool shit? And so I don't know, I'm just creating something while I can in my area. So that's a little bit about what I do. But in specific, I want to share about my self-discovery coaching and how it's so beautiful. I just love doing it. I feel so lucky. Like I feel so grateful. I feel very, very grateful that I've chosen this for myself, that I've created this for myself, and that I just get to give because giving is my favorite thing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do for a job when all I want to do is just help people and like truly help people, you know? Like a lot of roles I feel like you don't actually get to help them, or you're not like face to face with them. And to me it's super important to just like be with them and to allow people to feel seen, like truly seen and truly understood. I love making people feel understood and validated for how they're feeling and validated for their desires and their wants and their needs. Like that shit is gold to me. And I just, oof, yeah. So it all started with, well, my spiritual journey has been going for a while since I started in college and through yoga. And I just started reading. I loved reading, got to Australia, and that's where I was really propelled, like moving to another country by yourself. I was with my friend Jackson, but we're not like, we try to stay separated so that we would have an experience. And then we were for sure separated, but we never lived together. And anyways, so yeah, when you do that, you are out of your comfort zone 24/7. And so it's a little disrupting, but then it's just like, this is great. Like I am constantly learning, I'm constantly growing, I'm constantly being challenged, my perspectives being challenged, my beliefs. And then I was just brought all these beautiful mentors and guides, like just magnet. I was a magnet down there to the coolest people. I just love Australians so much. But yeah, so I was meeting all these people that were just helping me push me forward on my spiritual path and my self discovery. And so it's just been such a cool journey. I did my yoga training, and that was like, whoa, uncovering so much, so many layers and feeling. I never cried. I never cried before my yoga training. Okay, like clearly I cried when I was a kid or whatever if I got hurt, but I couldn't tell you the last time I cried before I did my yoga training. And that comes from living with my dad who's disconnected from his emotions. And so, you know, crying was this like a weak thing, a thing that you just didn't do. And I didn't even know how to do. Like, I remember all my friends being like, oh, I cry so much. I'm like, what? I never cry. Like, that's weird. And anytime I did cry, I would be like really uncomfortable and I didn't like it. So, yeah, I really learned how to feel my emotions, which I am learning is like the biggest part of life. And truly the biggest part of healing is allowing your emotions to live, to not live, but to be, and to be with them in your body and to connect to your body and not your mind through your emotions. You can't think your way out of emotions. You got to feel your way out of emotions. And it's a big practice that I've truly been incorporating. So Yeah, and then I went to Australia, or I was already in Australia, sorry. So, my last month of Australia, I volunteered at a holistic health retreat, which was so cool. It's called the Golden Door, but I believe it got bought out by someone else. Beautiful opportunity, and it almost didn't work out. They must have space, and then something happened and opened up, and then my roommate was Daisy Moore. She's the most radiant, beautiful woman. She lives in New Zealand, and we had such a good time together. I really miss her. She was so lovely. And I remember we were going on like one of our first group walks, taking all the guests. Did a sunrise walk every day. We did qigong in the mornings, and there was this like beautiful schedule and such a cool space. And all the teachers were awesome, and the energy there. And my Anya, she was like this magical healer, tea creator. Anyways, getting distracted. So she was telling me, she's like, yeah, like I'm a coach, I'm a life coach. And I was like, what is that? I've never actually heard of what a life coach is. And she was describing what she does. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, I am doing this on a daily basis, helping all my friends, helping strangers, like, and I'm not getting paid for this. Like, I should be getting paid for this. You're getting paid for this? And she's like, girl, do it. And I was like, well, I don't have a certification. She's like, it's unregulated. You don't need a certification to like be valid. And I was like, ooh, I like that. I resonate with that because I've had plenty of life experiences, so many life experiences that I'm like, I got this. And I'm constantly learning, constantly reading, constantly listening to podcasts, constantly doing all the things, and I'm listening to people and I listen to their experiences and I integrate that in that way I don't have to learn the lesson the hard way every time. And but still like, if I want to experience something firsthand, I still will and I do all the time. But I love to like that's just another way of expanding my awareness. So yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And then I put up a bunch of names and Alive to Enjoy. I still love that name and I love my little baby. So I am the CEO and founder of Alive to Enjoy. And it's just a great space, a great, great space for people to explore themselves, explore their inner landscapes, to connect with others. Community has been one of the most like crucial parts of my life and part of my process. And I've really learned the importance of community. It's not life is not meant to be lived alone, and I'm very independent. Very, very independent. Being an only child, growing up with a single dad who had to work a lot, yeah, independence is a big thing for me, and that's why I usually lean towards the avoidant attachment style because I'm afraid that my freedom's going to be taken away, and I don't want that. But I've been healing through that, so yeah. So community is just like this space where you get to learn so much from someone else and you get to connect on such deep levels when you open those doors of vulnerability and when you listen to people's stories and when you realize, wow, we are all so similar. Like you can connect with anyone on some level of some sort, whether it's past hurt, emotional wound, trauma that you both been through, or whether it's a desire or passion that you both love, or whether you've had this one experience that you share. Like there's always something. And I think that's such a beautiful part of life. And it's really fun to share experiences with people. Like I also love experiencing things on my own. However, in community, it's so fun. And like you see through everyone else's eyes and how we can all be experiencing one thing, but experiencing it in so many different ways. And that allows you to experience it in new ways and so many layers to it. But yeah, I'm really excited for my group coaching program called Radically Connected. I had to postpone it a little bit because a lot of things were coming up, and apparently the universe was telling me it wasn't time yet. So I haven't picked an exact date to relaunch it, but it's going to be in September, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, in my coaching, I help you really create a deep connection within, a deep trust in yourself, believing in yourself. And when you start to build that internal love as well and internal self acceptance, you radiate and you begin to deepen your relationships around you. You begin to have people that are truly supporting you and nourishing you, and you're growing together, you're glowing together, and it's such a cool space. It is such a not space, but like state to be in. And so That's what I love to do. That's why I love my coaching. So really it's like I used to be so lost. I was so lost. And I had so many friends and I still felt alone all the time. And I was like, how am I feeling alone right now? And I remember one time being on the beach in Australia in December, no, January, and I was like, wow, everyone's cold back home in Washington in the snow, and I'm thriving, quote unquote, living here in Australia, down under, mate, good on ya. And then I'm feeling sad and depressed. And I'm like, how am I feeling sad and depressed when I've got so many friends? I'm living the dream, living in Australia, like doing the damn thing that so many people are afraid to fucking do, and I'm upset right now. And I was just so confused. I'm like, and then I shared this with my stepmom, and she was like, you can't, why do you can't feel that way? That's like, you are doing, like, you're living the dream, you're in Australia, like I'm here, and I was like, wait, okay, like this isn't valid for me to feel this. There must be something really wrong with me. And then just like realizing, like, why do I keep attracting these men that are emotionally unavailable? Why why am I getting hurt in the same way in relationships and friendships so over and over again? Why why can't I say no when I feel every part of my body tensing up and not wanting to say no, but somehow I'm still saying yes? And just getting really curious about myself, about my actions, about my reality. Like, why is this my reality? And why is their reality so different? But and so it's just a really big deep dive of curiosity. And so I continued to listen to podcasts, I continued to hire coaches. Hiring a coach, whoo, the best, like the best. I always have a coach. I've a coach right now, and I have a psychotherapist, energy healer as well, and I have my network chiro, who is a healer and a nervous system chiropractor. So it's like I have my team. And when you have your team on top of your friends and your community, well, they're part of your community, but it's just like, wow, this is what life is meant to be. It's meant to be shared and explored with other people. And it's so beautiful. And so once I had my coach, like one of my first coaches in the first group coaching program, I was just like, wow, this is so great. This is so wonderful. Why aren't more people doing this? And there's so many like stigmas around, and there's so much, like, oh, life coach, you're gonna tell me how to live my life because you figured out your life, and like that's not really resonate with the word life coach. I'm like, I'm not a master of life. I'm just here to guide you. And I'm just here to remind you that you have all the answers you need within, that you are so infinitely intelligent, that you can choose and have the power and be empowered to make choices that support you and your dreams. And you're not stuck in anything. You don't have to live this life of suffering and mundane and just like, you don't have to do that. I'm just here to empower you to make these choices, to make these changes in your life, and to show you the possibilities, like to open your little closed small mind, if that's the box you're living in, because that's the box I lived in, and to just open it wide and show you that there's so much more to this world. And you you have gifts. I love showing people that they have gifts and reminding them that their voice is so beautiful and powerful and impactful and needed to be spoken and to be heard. And this is what I do. I don't tell you how to, I don't prescribe you a life prescription. I just listen. I mostly just listen. And I validate how you're feeling. And I encourage you to step outside your comfort zone, knowing that I'm here supporting you and that I've got your back, and then I will hold your hand when you need to emotionally. And yeah, it's just so fun because we all go through things, and we need someone to bounce back ideas. We need someone to help us get out of the muck sometimes and to keep us accountable to our goals. That's the biggest thing for me. Like that's why I love having a coach, because the life we live in now, there's so many things happening, and there's most of us probably have a ton of tools of like how to do the damn thing, but we're not doing it because no one, because we can't hold ourselves accountable, because whatever, we're caretaking other people and abandoning ourselves, or because we have too much on our plate and we're being overly productive and self-abandoning, another form of self-abandoning. And yeah, there's all these reasons, but having a coach allows someone to be there and like is really watching you, but in the most loving way, like, come on, like you've got this, like let's do this. I'm here to do this with you. It's you're not you don't have to do it alone, even though it's a lot of inner work. It's like doing inner work alongside someone else. And that's what I do. So if you are interested in starting this journey of self-discovery or going deeper into your practices or being held accountable or helping you get through some roadblocks that you keep facing, or to set really big goals and to expand through your fear, then I would love for you to send me a message and send me an email, sign up for a discovery call on my website at alivetoenjoy.com/offerings. I have a 3-month package called Your Integrated Self, where we take the time to for change, because change can happen in one session. Okay. Change can happen in one session, but like deeper subconscious reprogramming, deeper, like life longer change happens through time. And so the 3-month container allows us to really get through some big things and to make some big steps forward. And I also integrate meditation, because breath work and meditation is so important to your well-being. And I integrate yoga because, like I was sharing earlier, I think it's so important to move your body and to connect to yourself, and to realize that like our body is so wise and constantly giving us messages and constantly talking to us, and we need to start listening to ourselves. um, so that's why I integrate that as well. And then you are allowed to text and voice message me through our whole time. Anytime you want, you can send me a message and I'm there for you. I'll support you. And I love to give soul work, which is action steps. At the end of each session, I always give action steps, because life, I used to just soak everything up, like learn, 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 learn. I'm learning everything. Why is nothing changing? What? Like, I learned all of this already. Like, and I keep learning from, okay, so then I would be like, okay, I just need to try something else. And so I'd get like a totally different person describing it, and it would still be like all the same messages. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized that I'm not practicing. I'm not doing the damn thing. You can learn about it, but until you do it and experience it and get out there, like, and actually, start practicing. So that's why I always have soul work, because the action is so important. And that's it. It's super exciting. I'm also doing my group coaching program coming out soon. If you feel like doing a container like that with amongst other people, my past events have been so transformational, so incredible. Like, they were really, really great. So it's also another beautiful opportunity. And once I figure out once I call in my dream retreat space, because I don't just want, like, I found some spaces that they're just not it. So it's coming. That's also going to be an opportunity to work with me. And for now, like, please just message me. I feel like I'm not talking to most of you, and I would love to. So send me emails. Let me know if you want me to like talk on a specific topic on here, get a specific guest or like area to talk to expert about. Like, I love this stuff. So just let me know. And I appreciate the ones that are taking the 15 seconds out of their day to leave a review. This is how the podcast gets spread. This is the best quote unquote algorithm magic for podcasts, is that 15-second review. So I appreciate all of you that have left them. It means the world to me. And yeah, if you want to work with me, head to alivetoenjoy.com. You can also message me on Instagram. I love to chat. I love to chat on Heart Snuggles or Alive to Enjoy. I am there and I'm supporting you along the way. And I really hope this podcast has been expanding you and making you feel loved and cuddly. I've had almost 80 episodes, which is wild. So there's a lot of juicy topics that I put out so far. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And okay, that's it. Bye.